If you are 50 or older and you're losing muscle, it is probably because of one food that you're not eating. You see, when you reach the age of 50, your body starts to lose muscle at an alarming rate. In fact, by the time you reach 80 years old, you will have lost about 40% of your total muscle mass. But there's a problem. As we lose our muscle mass, we become weaker, which makes us more likely to fall and break a hip, which can be a precursor to death. So what do we do? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you the #1 food you need to eat to prevent muscle loss. And if you stick with me all the way to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to add this food into a delicious recipe that you're going to love. You see, most people think that protein is protein and all protein is created equal, but that's not true. There are some proteins that are better than others when it comes to preventing muscle loss. And one of those proteins happens to be in a very unlikely source. Now, let me explain. In order to understand why certain proteins work better than others when it comes to preserving muscle, you need to understand something called the amino acid profile. Every protein is made up of building blocks called amino acids, and there are 9 essential amino acids that your body cannot make on its own, which means that you need to get them from your diet. Now, when you eat a protein-rich food, your body breaks that protein down into individual amino acids and then uses those amino acids to build new protein for things like muscle, hair, skin, hormones, and enzymes. But here's the kicker. Your body has a limited capacity to store these amino acids. So if you consume more protein than your body needs to build new tissue, well, then your body will just get rid of the excess amino acids. That's why it's important to eat the right amount of protein for your body. Not too much, not too little, just right. So now you're probably wondering, okay, if my body gets rid of excess amino acids, doesn't that mean that I'm wasting my money when I buy expensive protein powder? And the answer is yes and no. Yes, if you're eating enough high-quality protein throughout the day, then any excess amino acids from your protein powder will be flushed away. But here's where it gets interesting. If you don't eat enough protein throughout the day, then your body will use amino acids from your protein powder to build new tissue, and the rest will be flushed away. That's why it's so important to space out your protein intake throughout the day so that your body always has a supply of amino acids to use when needed. But here's the thing. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing and using amino acids, which means that we need to eat even more protein to preserve our muscle mass. Unfortunately, many people don't get anywhere near enough protein in their diets, especially as they age. According to the dietary guidelines for Americans, adults over the age of 50 should be getting about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. That's about 2.2 pounds of protein for every 200 pounds of body weight. But surveys show that the average American only gets about half of the recommended amount of protein. And when you consider the fact that people over the age of 50 often have less muscle mass, which means they need more protein to preserve what they have left, it's easy to see why so many people are losing muscle as they get older. But wait, I promised you the #1 food to eat to prevent muscle loss. So what is it? It's dairy products. Now, you may be thinking, wait, I thought you said that protein is protein and all protein is created equal. And I did say that. But not all proteins are created equal when it comes to preserving muscle. Dairy products contain a type of protein called whey protein. Whey protein is unique because it is super high in leucine. Leucine is an amino acid that has been shown to stimulate muscle growth and prevent muscle loss. In fact, leucine is considered to be the most potent muscle-building amino acid out of all the essential amino acids. And guess what? Dairy products are one of the best sources of leucine. But it's not just the leucine content that makes dairy products such a great muscle-preserving nutrient. Dairy products also contain a lot of calcium. Calcium is a mineral that is often associated with strong bones, but it has also been shown to improve muscle strength and power. In fact, studies have shown that people who consume enough calcium are less likely to experience age-related muscle loss. Now, it's important to note that you don't need to go out and start chugging gallons of milk to preserve your muscle mass. In fact, drinking too much milk can cause other problems like obesity and diabetes. The key is to consume dairy products in moderation as part of a balanced diet. And here's where things get really interesting. If you are lactose intolerant, then you may want to avoid milk and other dairy products that are high in lactose, which is the sugar found in milk. Lactose intolerance is a condition that affects about 68% of the world's population. This means that a large portion of the world's population cannot properly digest lactose, which can lead to digestive discomfort. But if you are lactose intolerant, don't worry. There are plenty of other dairy products that are naturally low in lactose, such as cheese and yogurt. So make sure to include these in your diet to get the calcium and whey protein that you need to preserve your muscle mass. Now, let me show you how you can use this knowledge to make a delicious meal that will help you maintain your muscle mass as you age. This simple recipe only takes 30 minutes to prepare, and it's packed with protein, fiber, and healthy fats that will keep you feeling full and satisfied. Let's get started. First, grab a large bowl and combine the Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and milk. This will give you a creamy texture and a boost of protein. Next, add in the rolled oats, chia seeds, and flax seeds. These ingredients will provide you with fiber and healthy fats that will keep you feeling full and satisfied. To add some sweetness and flavor, mix in the ripe avocado, mashed banana, and vanilla extract. You can also add a pinch of salt to enhance the overall taste of the dish. Now it's time to blend the mixture until it is smooth and creamy. If it's too thick, you can add a little more milk to thin it out. To make the dish even more filling, top it with sliced almonds and walnuts. These nuts will provide you with healthy fats, protein, and fiber. Next, pour the mixture into a greased 8x8 baking dish and spread it evenly. Bake it in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes or until it's set up and slightly golden brown. Once it's done baking, let it cool down before cutting it into squares. To make this dish even more delicious, you can serve it with fresh berries. Berries are not only delicious and high in protein, but they also contain antioxidants that can help reduce inflammation and support heart health. So there you have it. A delicious and nutritious breakfast pudding that is packed with protein and fiber and healthy fats to keep you feeling full and satisfied all morning long. Whether you're trying to lose weight, gain muscle, or simply eat healthier, this recipe is a great option to add to your diet. So give it a try and let us know what you think in the comments below. Hey, before you go, if you're benefiting from any of this content, please share your success story in the comments. As always, I appreciate you and thank you for watching.